Hello, and welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills, where today's segment of Resources Unplugged will dig into how important it is for businesses to tell their story, but more importantly, telling it in a way that ensures your business is noticed by its intended audiences. I am your host, Lorette Farris, co-founder of Through the Lens of Small Business, an online platform that brings together entrepreneurs seeking financial resources they can immediately immediately. My guest today is Pierre Walters, the director of Blue Artists LLC, an award-winning agency that helps entrepreneurs build their brand, telling compelling stories to engaged audiences through the power and versatility of video. Businesses today have to be much more creative at breaking through the clutter of everyone else. Stellar branding is required for effective marketing. How do you get noticed over your competition? I'm glad we have Pierre Walters to walk us through building your difference. Welcome, Pierre.
Lorette, I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is such a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. You know, I was very pleased after we initially spoke and knew that we had to bring you on to sort of spread that message.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm very passionate about branding.
It definitely comes through. It comes through, and it makes a big difference. It makes a real difference. So let's start with, please explain to the audience, what is branding?
Branding is something that is often very misunderstood. A lot of times people believe that a brand is a feeling. It's the feeling you get about a company. And to me, that's not very descriptive. That's not very specific. And I work in the world of specifics. I need to know really what a brand is, okay? So if you tell me it's a feeling, that doesn't mean anything to me. A brand is actually three things. Okay. It is a combination of your identity, your community, and the conversation that bridges that gap. An identity is something that is really incredibly important. Identity is knowing who you are, why you are, what your mission is, what your vision is, and your purpose. And I think what's so important is when you encounter a business that knows what their purpose is, you've just encountered a business that'll probably be here for a very long time because they are rock solid. Okay.
You know what's so interesting to me hearing you say that? Most of us believe when we hear branding, oh, I got to get my logo, I have to get my website set up. You know, that's what the immediate thought of branding. So I love hearing you really dig into what branding really is. And I know that was just your first item as to branding, but that's why to me it's just really interesting to hear from a creative side what we really need to be thinking about when we're talking about branding. It's branding us, it's branding the individual.
Yes, yes. The next thing that is, I would say, just as important. Now, see, the thing is, you first have to know who you are, okay? But then you have to know who you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
So I call that your community, okay? And the first thing that I always say when trying to identify who your community is who are the people that emotionally need what it is that you emotionally have available.
So again, you're saying emotional. In most of our thoughts of starting our business, getting our business out there, we do not think about the emotion.
That's right.
We think about who we want to sell to, right?
That's right, and that's probably the worst possible because Lorette, and I think you know this, especially from the capital side, people don't really like being sold.
Absolutely.
they want to feel like the decision is theirs.
Right.
They want to be presented with the information and then choose for themselves whether they want to do it. But the moment we start trying to sell someone is the moment they're already thinking of an exit strategy.
Right.
You see?
Exit from you.
Exit, exactly. How do I get out of this?
Yeah.
So I would say, in terms of the community, trying to find out what it is that you have emotionally available for what they emotionally need is absolutely critical. And that communication, that conversation, which is what I call it, that transaction between you giving emotionally and the community receiving emotionally, I call that emotional currency.
I like that.
Yeah, and
I like that.
Every transaction, Lorette, every transaction that you will ever make is an emotional transaction.
I like the thought of that. It does make for a different feel, and you are absolutely right that, because I know myself, when I'm speaking to someone, even about something that I want, as soon as I feel that they're trying to sell to me, I may not buy it from them.
Yeah.
I got my information, now I'm going to go to where I'm going to feel comfortable about then making that transaction.
That's right.
So again, it is interesting how we as business owners approach going into this space, and then really starting to hear the things that we need to think about and consider as we get there. You bring up community. One of the big things that I do talk to people about when we're talking about raising capital is who's your audience. And so I guess that fits in that same context. You need to know who you're trying to reach and speak with in order to, on my side, get to capital you're looking for, on your side, to get them to engage.
That's right. That's right. To engage with you. And really, we're in 2014, and we've got cell phones that have virtually all of the information in the world in your hand. Okay, so we are dealing with a level of technology today that we have never experienced before in human history, and people are more empowered now. People are more informed. People aren't looking for you to tell them where to go and what to do. What they want now, and this is what's so important, what they want is information, and they want to feel like they are a part of a tribe, like they are a part of a family.
Right.
And rather than say, listen, I've got the goods and you have to buy from me and I'm going to press you into buying from me, people would rather buy from you if they feel that there's a connection that's based off engagement, that's based off some sense of kinsmanship, family, shared ideals. Perhaps your brand, you might be in the business of selling soap, okay? There's a lot of companies that sell soap. But if your business, if your soap selling business is also a business that is taking care of the environment, and that is introducing all natural ingredients, no chemicals, okay, then suddenly you have a unique story to tell, and something that the audience can latch onto and say, you know what, I like this soap because it makes me feel good to use it.
I like that. And then, so conversation takes you, I guess it's then the conversation that ties that all together.
That's right, that's right. So conversation is really what bridges the gap between your identity and your community. So you know who you are, okay? That's important. And now you know who your audience is, okay? You know what they need emotionally, and you know what your emotional currency is. It might be joy. You might be in the business of selling joy. As we discussed, Lorette, you are in the business of trust, okay? Blue Artist is in the business of confidence, selling confidence, okay? So you know what your emotional currency is. Now, the conversation is the bridge that allows you to deliver that emotional currency. And so the conversation aspect of a brand is really the engagement part. And I really believe that we can categorize it down into just a few quick specifications or areas of focus. The first would be video, okay? The second would be photography, pictures.
Right.
Okay, great pictures. Okay, people love pictures because in one picture you can say so many things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Video, people love video because we're in a globalized society. People can't always be with you, but if they can watch you on video, it's almost like they're experiencing the mission.
Yeah, and so much more comes through in video than written because you can see the person, you can feel the person.
That's right. And the other area that I would say is public relations. Now, public relations is really the aspect of giving them something to talk about, okay? Producing stories, blogging, sending out a press release to say, you know what, I'm going to be here at this particular event at no charge, totally free, but show up. Just pushing out content that says, look at what we're doing. Excuse me, giving the audience something to talk about and something to engage with. When you have a solid conversation strategy, you are basically drip feeding the good stuff, which is that emotional currency. To the audience, because you might be in the business, like I said, of selling soap. Okay, that's the physical thing you're selling, but that's not what you're really selling. What you're really selling is environmental awareness. Okay, taking I don't know what would be the people that care about the earth, people that
environmentalists.
Okay, so that's what you're really selling,
right?
And you can't deliver through the bar of soap, but you can deliver that through video, through photography, through public relations, through articles, through blogs, through social media.
So we are going to I don't want to bring up the new question before we go into the break, because I want to also then understand and help our audience understand how Blue Artists help to pull that information out. So it's wonderful to talk about those pieces and what's a part of the branding and what you need, but many of us, again, when we think about doing it, we get our logo, our business card, our website, and we're not thinking about these other pieces. So I'd love to make sure that we understand how you help to pull that out of someone when you go to do a branding, a marketing strategy campaign, for those who need that service.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you it first starts with understanding the mission.
Okay.
We have got to.
So that again means knowing who you are.
Exactly. That's right.
Because you can't do the mission if you don't know what your passion is.
Yes, exactly. And listen, you'd be surprised. I'm often surprised how many people know what they're passionate about, but they don't know how to articulate it. So when I ask them the question, what's your mission and what's your purpose, it's like a shock. They've never encountered that before, but they know it intrinsically.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. So we are going to take a short station break, then return with Pierre Walters of Blue Artists LLC to continue unplugging resources you thought were beyond your reach. Stay tuned, as you won't want to miss one word.
Join our mission to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. Every week we feature a medley of gifts from artists, performers, ministers, and more. Experience the Lord's everlasting light in the cool of the day.
Welcome back. You are watching Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of Resources Unplugged. Our special guest today is Pierre Walters, Director of Blue Artists LLC. Pierre, I think we covered some significant information for businesses, and now I would like that answer. How does Blue Artists help to pull that out of a company that never thought that those were the parts they had to sort of consider as they were stepping out there?
Wow. Well, okay, so we know that it starts with the mission. All right, understanding the mission of the people involved, understanding what is their purpose, what is it that they really want to do? Okay, yes, we want to make money, all right,
Right,
they want
right,
but what do they really want to do?
Okay.
What's the legacy in terms of why they're in business in the first place? Okay. But the common thread between the mission, the purpose, even the vision, is that this is all being generated by people. And the reality is that people buy into people. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that the brand, that the business feels like there's nothing between the customer and the people that are on the other side of the aisle. Okay, so it really boils down to helping the business, helping the brand understand their difference in the marketplace, and then propelling that difference. Right. Okay. Once we find out what the emotional currency is, that's when we get into the design. And we start with an ideation process. We throw all kinds of crazy ideas out. I mean, you got to get it out on the table, okay? When you get it on the table, then we start saying, okay, this is what works. What visual images are run parallel to the emotional currency that we know that we're actually selling? What visuals help us feel trust, okay? What visuals or colors or visual ideas help us to feel that we are engaging and really helping our audience to feel like, man, I really buy into these people, okay? So we start there. But once we get the ideation finished and we have the design ready to go, okay, then we move into something that I call action, all right? This is the action phase. This is when it's time to execute, all right? So we build the website, make sure the this is something important. A website has, first of all, the job of a website is not just to look pretty, okay?
Okay.
And it's also
supposed to work.
It's supposed to be functional.
Okay.
But sometimes we forget that in being functional, that the website at its core really has because there's a lot of websites on the web. All right, and we really don't have much time to make an impact. So we've got to answer three fundamental questions. When someone comes to your website, within 3 seconds, they've got to have the answer to 3 questions. And those 3 questions, the first is, am I at the right place?
Okay.
Is this your website or is it somebody else? Am I at the right place? The second is, do I like these people? People can tell within just a second or two if they like you just based off the way your website looks. And finally, will I feel comfortable here? Okay. Is the site easy to navigate? Is a font too small? Is it too scattered? Will I feel comfortable? Because this is a representation of what the rest of my experience might be like. And with so many alternatives on the web, it's so important that the website hit those 3 critical areas of focus, those 3 critical questions immediately within the first 3 seconds.
I know for myself, I do a lot of searching, research online, and yes, if I hit a site that when you hit it, I will just move on to the next one. Okay, there's the next and the next. So I definitely understand that piece.
And that's very important. And a lot we don't think about it. People just don't. They don't think about it, but you know when you see it.
So you have the website, you work on that, but I know you guys do many more pieces than that. What are some of the other pieces that go into helping them now expose the brand that you help them to understand?
Absolutely. So this takes us now to the rollout phase. Okay, so we finished the action phase. We've built the website. We've built the media materials. We've built the electronic press kit.
Okay.
We've taken great photography, beautiful promotional pictures that really sell the idea and the emotions behind the business. Okay, so we've got all that material ready to go. Now we got to roll it out. This is when it's time to execute the conversation phase.
Gotcha.
This is when we are working to get people to the website and working to engage through social media. Okay, and social media is an interesting thing. The 2 kings of social media right now is Facebook and Twitter.
Correct.
And I think I've gotten both these platforms down to a science.
Okay.
I think I really now
until they change.
Until they change, yeah, which is like every week. So it's a never-ending study. I'll tell you. I want to say that Facebook is really the platform for giving. Okay, it's the platform for uplifting your fans.
Okay.
The Facebook experience is so cluttered with so much stuff that people want to see themselves. They're tired of seeing everybody else's stuff.
Gotcha.
So when on your Facebook page, if you focus on your fans, you find a special fan, one fan per week,
Wow.
or one fan per
Right.
month,
Right.
and you tell their story, and you say, wow, you know what? In the case of Blue Artists, this particular client has just done something amazing, and we're so proud of this client, and we want everybody to know what this client
Right.
is doing. See, that's totally different.
Of course, you're not saying, look at me, this is what
Exactly.
I've done, this is what I'm doing. I like that.
Exactly, and people will gravitate to this because they're seeing themselves.
Right.
They're seeing themselves, and they'll share it, they'll like it, they'll push it because it doesn't feel like it's all about you now. It feels like, hey, they're focusing on me.
Right.
Okay. Now, Twitter, on the other hand, is a totally different story. Twitter is about content. It's about pushing content, broadcasting relevant content.
But you have so few words to use, so
yes.
how will you so when we think content, we don't think 2-3 lines.
That's right. One of the worst things that we can do on Twitter is just, say what you're eating this morning for breakfast. Okay,
Right.
really. What you want to be doing on Twitter is searching the internet for interesting articles, interesting stories to tell, that the people that you want to be your clients, that you want to engage with, stuff that they'll find interesting. Okay? You push this through Twitter and you say, listen, come check out my Twitter page because I'm curating a lot of content that you're going to find very interesting.
Right.
And you're going to give, and you're going to give, and you're going to give, and every now and again, you're going to send out your link.
Right.
And you're going to say, listen, if you like this stuff, why don't you check my website out?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Now on Facebook, I'll just wrap that part up by saying on Facebook, it really is about the idea of jab, 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 right hook.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a book by Gary Vaynerchuk, and basically what this means is give, 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 ask.
Gotcha.
So you want to give something away for free. Give the gift of talking about somebody else. That's the cheapest gift you can give.
Right,
Okay,
right,
so
right,
that's what I'm saying.
right.
Give someone else a story. Give someone else a story. Give someone else a story, and then ask the audience to buy into your story. Okay, you're
Right.
always giving at least 3 times
Gotcha.
than you're asking. Okay, does that make sense?
Absolutely. Now, again, I work with a lot of new, young startup companies. They don't have either the staff or maybe the understanding. Does Blue Artists assist in after the campaign is done, and now you still have your Facebook and your Twitter to work with, how do you help them with that?
Very good question. We are with you every step of the way. We really are.
wonderful.
Okay. So by this point, we understand the brand.
Gotcha.
We understand your mission. We understand your purpose. So we can really represent you pretty well. Our social media promotion services are really quite robust. We manage is not the right word. I want to say promote. We promote our clients through social media, through Twitter, by doing exactly what I just said, by turning their Twitter account into a resource, where people are attracted to them because they're pumping out excellent, useful information, okay? And then on Facebook, I always tell my clients, listen, people will know if you've hired someone to pretend to be you on Facebook. Okay?
I was going to ask that question.
People will know.
Right.
It's 2014.
Right.
So don't hire anybody to pretend to be you. Rather, hire someone, in our case, our team, to support what you're doing on Facebook. So on Facebook, you do need to be proactive.
Okay.
You do need your voice, your pictures need to shine.
Okay.
But where we come in is we help by advertising for you through Facebook. Okay. We create very compelling advertisements, very compelling snippets that we can push through the demographic filters on Facebook and really get people interested in checking out your Facebook page, where then it's up to you to put the spotlight on them.
Okay. I like that. Because we have become, we are using a lot of the social media, but we are just learning how to work with it in the best light possible. And I have seen that it is an uphill trek if you don't have someone who can assist you in doing it with best practices.
That's right. It really is something where if you don't have the strategy going into it, you're really just going to be wasting your time.
Yeah,
You really
and
are.
I don't think any of us in business want to do that.
Exactly.
So what I would ask, if you can frame for us as we're coming near the end, is what should every brand that any of us are trying to build, what should that achieve for us?
I would say every brand, if your objective is to build a great brand, okay? Really what I mean is if your objective is to tell a great story every day that you're in business,
Right.
then you have to get used to the idea that it's my job to deliver on the emotion that I'm selling.
Right.
It's my job.
Right.
I'm here to make people feel a certain way. And if it's trust, then that's your job. If it's, in my case, confidence,
Right.
that's my job. And if you can take that level of ownership in your brand and say, you know what, I'm going to make money, the money's going to come, but my number one priority is making sure that the people that engage with me, that give me the honor of serving them, that I'm delivering on the key emotional currency.
Right.
Because if people believe that you really care, man, that'll take you so far. It really will.
Yeah.
They'll forgive some mistakes,
Right.
because they know
Right.
that your heart's in the right place and
Right.
your intentions are pure.
Wow. I think that's powerful. Pierre, this was wonderful sitting here talking to you.
Thank
And I think we may have to do a follow-up segment, because there's so much we didn't get to cover, but I think there was so much in this that we did. So thank you so much.
Absolutely my pleasure,
Thank
Lorette.
you.
Thank you.
Pierre, it has been such a pleasure, and as I've let them know, to have you as a guest today. Blue Artist epitomizes the type of resources through the lens of small business wants to ensure its community is aware of and has access to. Our Resources Unplugged audience thanks you and what you guys do and how you deliver it. In closing, I encourage our viewers to check in for our next episode of Resources Unplugged as we continue to vet programs and other resources to enhance your business management processes. Thank you again for watching Skills to Pay the Bills and today's segment of Resources Unplugged, Tools to Grow Up With.